Hey there, you know that moment when you're telling a story and you have to say what someone asked, and for a second, your brain just freezes? Yeah, it's a super common trip up in English. But today, we're going to completely break down reported questions so you can nail them every single time.
Just think about it, right? Someone asks you something simple, like, do you understand? But later, when you're telling a friend about it, how do you say it? You're not asking the question anymore, you're reporting it. The trick is turning their direct question into a smooth, natural-sounding part of your own sentence. And that is exactly what we're going to learn how to do.
So here's our game plan. We've got 5 simple steps. We'll start with the absolute basics, then we'll look at the 2 main types of questions you're going to run into. After that, we'll cover the one single, most important rule you need to know, and then we'll put all the pieces together. Okay, let's start with the big idea here. We really have to shift our thinking. When we report a question, we're not asking anything. We're actually storytellers. We're just describing a question that somebody else asked in the past. It's not a question anymore. It's just a piece of our story. So, to put it simply, what is a reported question? It's just you telling someone what another person asked. The most important thing to get in your head is that you are no longer asking the question yourself. You're just reporting that it happened. That's it.
Now, have a look at this. This is the basic transformation. The direct question is, are you happy? But look at the reported version. Notice how the word order completely flips from are you to if I was. That's the moment it becomes a statement. And check out the punctuation. The question mark is gone, and now there's a period. Why? Because the whole sentence is a statement now, not a question.
Okay, so whenever you need to report a question, the first thing you have to do is figure out which of 2 paths to take. And the first path is for all those questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. You know the ones. They usually start with are you, do you, or can you. For these yes-no questions, there is a super reliable 3-step formula. It's so easy. Step 1, you're going to start the clause with if or whether. Step 2, and this is a big one, you flip the word order so the subject comes before the verb, just like in a normal statement. And finally, step 3, you apply what I call the golden rule. You backshift the verb's tense. And don't worry, we're going to get to that golden rule in just a minute. Let's see that formula in action. The original question, are you happy? Okay, step 1, we add if. Step 2, we flip the verb are and the subject you, which becomes they are. And step 3, the backshift. The present tense are becomes the past tense were. And there you have it, if they were happy. See? It's just a clean, logical process.
All right, on to the second path. This one is for pretty much all the other questions. You know, the ones that want real information. They start with words like what, where, when, why, or how. These questions aren't looking for a yes or no. They want details.
And here's the best part. The formula is almost exactly the same. The only thing that changes is step 1. Instead of adding if or whether, you just use the question word that's already there. What, why, how, whatever it is. Steps 2 and 3, flipping the word order and backshifting are exactly the same. So you've pretty much already learned how to do it. Let's try it. What time does the film start? Okay, step 1, we keep the question phrase. What time? Step 2, we find our subject, the film, and our verb, start, and put them in that normal statement order. And here's a little pro tip. That helper verb, does, it just vanishes. It's only there to help form the question, so we don't need it anymore. In step 3, we backshift start to started. The result, what time the film started. Perfect. Okay, it's time. Let's talk about the concept that makes this whole thing work. I call it the golden rule, and it is backshifting. This is really the engine of all reported speech. All it means is this. Because you are reporting the question after it was originally asked, you have to shift the verb tense one step back into the past. You're showing that time has passed. This little cheat sheet shows you exactly how that works. A simple present verb like is becomes the simple past was. That's easy enough. But check this out. What happens if the verb is already in the past, like did? Well, it just takes one more step back to the past perfect. Had done. This same pattern works for everything, even for those little helper verbs. So can becomes could, may becomes might, and must becomes had to. This is the core logic that makes everything click. All right, we've got the 2 paths, and we've got the golden rule. In this last section, we're going to combine everything we've learned and add those final little touches that will make your reported questions absolutely flawless. So, getting the main verb right is huge, but there are a few other small changes that really make it perfect. First, pronouns almost always have to change to make sense from your new perspective. So if someone asked you, how are you, you'd report it as, he asked how I was.
Same thing for words like your, it might become his or my. And just remember, that golden rule applies to every verb in the sentence. And of course, always, always end with the period. It's a statement.
Okay, time for a little test. How would you report this question? First, think about the path. Is it a yes-no question or a WH question? Then, just apply the golden rule. You got this.
And that's the answer. Let's break it down. It's a yes-no question, so we start with if. The pronoun you becomes I, and that little verb can gets backshifted to could. So she asked if I could finish the project. Simple as that.
Okay, one more. This one is a little bit trickier. Notice the verb is already in the past tense. So what happens now?
Here we go. It's a WH question, so we start with the word why. The subject you changes to he. And now for the golden rule. The past simple verb didn't come takes that one extra step back in time and becomes the past perfect, hadn't come. The final result, the teacher asked him why he hadn't come to the party. That is a beautiful, perfect reported question.
And just like that, you've done it. You have the formulas, you have the golden rule, and you know all the little details. You now have a complete toolkit for turning any question you hear into a perfect reported statement. So the only question left is, what are you going to report next?